Hey, and welcome to Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in. And now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. And today I'm joined by Samia, someone many of you will relate to deeply. Over the past years, Samia and I have talked about a lot about fitness, food, emotions, grief, and identity. And what struck me most is that her journey is not about being perfect. It's about becoming honest. So in this episode, we talk about what it feels to like to start again, to deal with the loss, and to face body image struggles, and to slowly rebuild trust in yourself. Samia, I'm really grateful you are here, and we haven't been talking for a while, and let's start with something simple. How are you really doing these days?
Okay, so really, honestly, not really great. On the surface level, things carry on when you have grief, right? So you just carry on. But every time if I did stop and meditate, or if I did stop and feel calm, there is like a wave of tears, and it's like surface level. I could easily fall into it. And I've had like a major wobble. So I live in Yangon in Myanmar. I've been here 6 years, and it's very difficult because I've never stayed so long in one place. Normally, the maximum I've ever stayed is like 4 years. So on top of that, on top of grief, on top of dealing with all the nuances of work, and as you know, like teaching is such a giving job. You have to give so much of yourself. And I feel like my cup is half empty. So when I do react with students, I see a version of myself I don't recognize. Because I used to be really patient. And now how am I really? I'm not patient. I don't feel very kind. I feel like I want to hide. I sleep a lot. Um, Yeah, that's basically how I am. And because of that, I had a major wobble last week, where I was like, right, I don't think I can work. I don't want to work anymore. But I don't have a job or anything. I don't have plans. And it's so unlike me. And that version of myself is a person I don't recognize. And that's also so scary.
Mhm.
So that's why I can admit now, like, I'm not doing well. And that's
Yeah,
okay.
and that is okay to say that you are not doing well, because this is often there are not many people who are telling, like, if you ask that how you are doing, it's that I'm okay or I'm fine, and this is something what many people are not willing to commit. So thank you so much for sharing that. So how does it like if you think about last year, like what word would describe that?
What worked last year?
No, what word would describe it best,
Oh, okay.
if there is some?
Well, I find that interesting. What word? It's always
Yeah,
trying to, it's like so difficult to put it into one word.
yeah.
What
No, you can
word?
have a two or three.
Yeah. It's just like it is unsettling right now, but I feel like the journey that I need to be on is the one I'm in. Like I
Mhm.
I hold presence for it. Like I hold it in my hands.
mm,
So I'm an art teacher, so I feel very blessed that I have the opportunity to like sit in that uncomfortable emotion,
mm,
uh, and just hold it. I
mm,
describe it as a tangled ball of wool. Like,
mm,
because last year I feel like before dad passing away, I was fine. I was a bit uncomfortable. My job was okay. I could ride through it. I was a bit bored with work. And now what it does is like all of the tangled lives that we have at work, our persona at work, our persona with our friends, it's all tangled, and
mm,
there's no that's why to have like one word, I don't know, it
mm.
could be uncomfortable,
Yeah,
tangled. It's not it is distressing, but
yeah,
it's not the time.
yeah.
And so what I've tried to do with like the words that sit in my soul is like I have the opportunity to make art from it.
Mm,
And that I find that very I didn't think it was a big deal. I just like wrote it down on some clay and I was like, oh, okay, I feel much better. That's why I can say it.
hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is beautiful, like some way in a art of expressing those
Yeah.
emotions, and it's that somehow just get them out and not leave them inside. So I want to like little bit like you mentioned shortly about grief and everything, and um, but because when we started working together, we have been working. Is it now like 2 years or even more? And when we first started working together, what was your relationship with your body like?
Oh, it was not good. It was terrible. It was like it's like looking into a mirror and seeing a reflection that you don't recognize. Like you see yourself, but it's very easy to ignore it because a mirror only if you only see a mirror in the bathroom, it's only from like the neck up or like the
Mm,
waist up. And the only
mm,
time you really see yourself naked or whatever is when you go have a shower or a bath,
uh-huh,
go have a bath. And it sits very uncomfortably, like it's like embarrassment and shame,
mm,
or like the roles of the fat like sit awkwardly in chairs, and the negative chat that you have in your head, like, oh, that chair doesn't fit you, you shouldn't sit
mm,
there, don't say that, people will judge you, you should be really funny because you're really fat, and things like that. So the negative chat was high, and
mm,
it can be suppressed sometimes, but not all the time. And I just didn't know. I feel like your mind and your heart know your mind knows when something's wrong.
mm,
Like I
yeah,
cried often, and
yeah,
I couldn't. It's like I couldn't work out where it was coming from, but deep down, like you're not happy with your weight, and
mm,
you can't go on like this.
mm, yeah.
So that's what it was.
Yeah, no, and this is thank you so much for sharing. Like these are very like so many people are struggling with this and like these kind of issues underlying. Like, cause it's easy to say that just work out, eat healthier, start doing something. But if you have huge mental struggles, like you are not, you feel ashamed, like you said, that is. So thank you so much for telling that loud, because there is not many people who are actually willing to commit that or talk about these things. They think that, or many people, what I know, like I don't know if it's your case too, but you feel like kind of close. You don't want to share these things that you think that you are the only person who struggles, or there are not many of them, and then it feels so hard to share these stories and how you actually are doing. So
Yeah,
thank you.
that's true.
So you mentioned that exercising. What did exercise mean to you back then?
So when it started, oh, there was so much like pressure because like our childhood, I felt like my childhood like set the course of how I should be. Like my
Mhm.
dad used to push me in the gym, or not even in a gym, but he used to push me to do lots of exercises. And so when I did when I did start, there was a sense of pride, but then like gets lost in all the emotion, childhood emotion that comes out.
Mhm.
So like I could do it, and I realized that, oh, I'm so strong. But I
Mhm.
never noticed, because you think that when you want to get fit, you should be thin. All
Mhm.
of those things, all of those internal like pressures that we have, I had, was
Mhm.
to be fit, to be healthy, you should be slim. But then as I get going, I was like, no, I want to be strong. Like I just want to
Mhm.
be strong. Um, and that's the bit that that's what surprised me, is when I went, we have this gym at school. It's very well
Mhm.
organized. We have everything. And
Mhm.
because I like was able to show you with photographs and have um the set pieces of like what to do, how to do it. And I was so worried at the beginning that I might hurt myself. And of course I did, of course.
Mhm.
But I learned from it. And yeah, it was, I think with I had to get over in the initial, like, to get into freedom of how I am in the gym, I had to get over some hurdles emotionally. Like I sometimes used to be in there and I'd do some weights, and then my surface tears would come, and I'll be like, I don't know why I feel like this. And I'll be like, no, I know how I feel like this. Because mum and dad used to push me when I was a kid,
Mhm.
always. And now I have it as my armor. I'm like, yeah, I can do the gym. I don't do it all the time, but I can do it.
Mhm.
And so it's like you have to change your mindset of how things are perceived. Yes, I do get emotional in the gym, but I think that when I talk to other people, they have it when they go running. It's like a relaxation in the brain,
Mhm.
and we just try.
Yeah, no, and you have been. This is like you have been amazing, by the way, and I'm extremely proud of you. How you go. I remember when you said that you were like really, really scared first time going to the gym with younger people. You were scared that you are uh, hurting yourself. You are taking spot from somebody else. You are not. You don't know what you should be doing there. And when you are around with the younger males, guys who are working out in front of the mirror and flexing all the muscles, and you are there like that. What, am I belonging here? And I still remember vividly. I said I try to tell you that usually those are thoughts that are only in your head, that nobody else cares. Like and if somebody's telling you, which I don't believe will happen, but if somebody would tell you that, oh, what you are doing here, then you say that, yeah, I'm trying to get healthier. And if somebody is laughing or I don't know what reaction you could have for that answer, then you already understand everything from that person. That is he doesn't, or that person doesn't understand everything. So that was a I hope you are proud of yourself taking that step, because I know that it was anything but easy.
Yes, I am proud of myself. Yeah. And when I used to go, I did it really, although it's hard, I did enjoy it. And then when
Mm,
I left, I feel good, a little bit sore, I think it was the more shock that I could hold stuff even after a while, like your body remembers. So I was like, oh, I
hmm
can do that. Oh, yeah, I'm not that unfit. It's okay. Okay,
hmm
right. Okay.
Yeah, and then what you mentioned, like getting stronger instead of like that, you should be slim or something to changing that mindset that said that you want to become stronger. And then I remember vividly, like when you were telling like examples when you started to see those results in a real life, that you were in a plane and first time able to get your luggage without help on top shelf, and like that, whoa, that have never happened. I always had to ask help, and now I'm able to lift that by myself, even it's heavy. uh, I was how did you start to feel when you start to notice that kind of things?
I mean, even now it still happens. Like I haven't been to the gym for a long time, but it still happens now. Back then, it was just like such a shock. Like
Uh-huh.
climbing a flight of stairs with shopping,
Mm,
or like lifting a bag. We have heavy things in the art room, and just being able to lift it. The
mm.
other one that I was really shocked about, it was opening jars.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you'd think that, oh, you don't need to be like, you don't need to have any strength, but you really do, because the when you're gripping something and you're lifting it, there's pressure in your hand. Like you
Oh
need to
yeah,
have strong fingers
yeah,
all the way to the fingertip, not just the palm of the hand. That's what I never realized.
yeah.
All of those little things that are happening in the gym. Uh, Opening jars for my mom, opening like we
Mm,
have these really old glaze jars that have very old like paint in them, and before I could never open them. Even like, you do the technique, whack it with a
mm,
knife, put it under hot water, hit it on the table. And
mm,
then during like art lessons, someone has to open the jars. And before I used to be like, oh, please ask someone stronger. But now I'm
mm.
like, pass it to me. And I
Yeah,
think,
give it to
please
me.
don't give it.
Give it
It
to
hurts. It
me.
really does hurt. It's not
Yeah,
like it doesn't hurt. It burns in the hand, but I
yeah.
do it, and they're like, whoa. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot. I never used to be able to do that.
Hmm. No, but
And
those kind of moments, I hope you are proud of yourself for becoming
yeah,
that person who is always asking that, "Oh, could you? I'm not a strong person. Could somebody help me to open this? That give it to me." And
yeah,
right away
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
open it.
And I make jokes with the kids, because kids are kids, and they're
Yeah, of
like,
course.
no, you help me open it, and they're like, I couldn't, it wasn't moving. And when I got it open, and in the midst of like teaching you, it just
Hmm.
like you're like, oh, and then you carry on, and
Hmm.
then you forget, and then you remember. But
Yeah.
yes, that's fascinating.
Yeah, no, because those are like, and then for sure, kids are like, "Wow, you are so
Yeah,
strong." No, but this
it's
is,
so cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And also like to add on to that, I deliver lessons on electric wheel throwing.
Hmm.
So we have a like a pottery wheel. And before, like I had surgery, and I tried it straight after, and I had like no core muscle. And so leaning forward and then using hands, I couldn't do it. And I remember let one lesson go, right, I'm sorry. It's
Hmm.
okay. I'm sorry, I can't do this. So someone stepped in. And then after that, as I got stronger, I was like, oh, yeah, 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 look at me go. Like I
Hmm.
lean forward, I tell these kids, you have to use your core, you have to use your fingers, and
Hmm.
you're like pulling the clay into like bowls. And,
Wow.
it's crazy. These kids, they're like, whoa. And I'm like, oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, this is really cool. Because now,
uh,
like, it's like this is what people don't tell you, is the confidence that you get from yourself. It like
yeah.
bleeds into everything.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it bleeds into like your day to day.
Uh-huh.
So even before, I would be really conscious of making a
Uh-huh.
mistake, and then the negative chit chat would start. But
Yeah.
then, because now I realize, like feeling good, doing like these functional like exercises where I actually can do stuff,
Hmm.
like bled into my work and my private life. It's like, oh, okay, it's all right. Oh shit, I dropped the ball. Oh my God. Oh, I dropped like some oranges in the supermarket. It like fell out of a bag. It was like, oh God, all right, never mind. Pick it up. It's like,
Hmm.
it's not because you're fat that you dropped it, right? It's not
Yeah.
that. It just
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, I kicked it. I kicked a kiwi once, and I lost it under the thing. I was like, oh, never mind. In the
Yeah.
supermarket, never mind. Go tell someone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
And so
are.
that's, yeah, these little moments of like absolute clarity, like, oh,
Hmm. Yeah, no, those are so crucial moments, and to understand, and like that, what is like that, it's not the like you turn it probably like often in a way you want to hear it, like, or you think that oh, this happened because of I'm fat or I'm overweight, but then when you really think it like that, oh, this happens. That is no reason, and I love that, like what you said about that confidence, how it shows up in a real life. Like of course, when you start to be able to do those like tasks, like simple daily tasks, like opening that jar uh, lifting your luggage, or like so many examples, going flight of stairs without taking a breath, what you were not able to do before. And then, of course, how it shows up is in your confidence. And then, that changes really everything. So it's not only about like building some muscle and everything. So it's for me like that, like you said, that just becoming stronger, and that it's, it helps in so much more than many people are even aware.
Mm, yeah.
So if if you could, if you think that now we were a little bit reflecting back, if you think like that, what if you could describe your old self in one sentence, what would it be?
Hmm. I think my one sentence was like riddled with shame.
Mm,
Like uh surface level Sammy is fine, very funny, laughs a lot, but underneath the surface is just so much shame, embarrassment, and sadness.
mm.
Yeah.
So was there like that? It's thank you first of all telling that. But if you think, was there a moment when something shifted for you?
Yeah, I think it's the first time that I went to the gym. After the initial like the tears come, I used to pick the most unusual times to go, like the most
Mm,
awkward times, because I didn't want to have anyone there. I didn't want to be seen.
mm,
I would go at like 11 o'clock, or in the morning I would be like really early,
mm.
or in the evening I would wait at
Until everybody
school
leaves. Yeah,
to be to so I would know that nobody at school would be there. So 5 o'clock, and I'd have
yeah,
this like release of like you are not allowed to leave until you go to the gym, because that was the
uh,
only way I could get through it. And
yeah,
then as I got through it, I was like, oh, it's okay. Like they're
mhm,
in their own world. It's okay.
yeah, yeah. No, that
Yeah.
is so powerful. Like it's, and if you think like it's basically one decision, right? That you know, like you said, that you, how you are telling yourself that no, it's okay, I need to get there.
Yeah.
So when did you then first notice that like you said, that I'm not the same person anymore? Was it that moment when you were, or I don't want to tell anything, sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. That's interesting. It was the first flight of stairs I took with shopping. With like a week's worth of shopping where it's like I would prefer to take the lift. And then I thought, oh, let's just see, you can just stop, it's okay. Um and that's when it started to change. I think I lifted something that I wasn't meant to, that I just didn't think I could do it. And I had to pick it up and like stretch above my head. And it was so instinctive. Like my brain knew that I could do it before my heart did.
Uh,
And it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I think I told you, I was like, oh, I did this.
yeah,
I carried the flight of, I carried
yeah, I remember.
downstairs, like before we're walking. I was always a bit like cautious on the stairs because I think like, we're always worried about falling. And I'd always
Mhm.
get worried like how I'm gonna fall. Like you have to make sure your hands are out. But then I'm like, oh, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I remember when you told so many times, like in a school, like we're being scared, like that, you have to stop in the stairs, or like we always talked many times that you don't need to take stairs every single time if you are not if you used to take elevator, and then if you are like step by step you are starting to change these habits. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden if you go from I don't know how many floors you have to climb, but let's say that it would be from first to fifth floor. You do that 10 times in a day, and if you can, like, expectation is not that you are not using elevator anymore, but maybe start, instead of taking 10 out of 10 elevator, you go once, twice, maybe three times per day, depending, of course, on everything. But those small things, what you started to do, I hope you are looking back now and say that, wow, I did amazing, or I did it so well.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's like it's like how do I explain it? It's like not like a drug. It's like a feeling that when you start, it's so rare and it feels so warming because it's
Hmm.
just so unusual and it's a surprise because it comes out of nowhere. And then as you get going, it happens more and more often. So
Hmm.
the pizzazz, the niceness of it disappears.
Hmm.
Then and then obviously with gym or stairs or whatever, like I don't like climbing stairs to be honest.
Yeah.
But then when you do it, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, I forgot that feeling again. Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
remember now. Oh yes, I can do it. And it is
Hmm.
like don't get me wrong, I'm still wheezing at the top of the stairs, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, let's go, let's try, just
Hmm.
have a breath. And I'm like, who
Hmm.
cares? Like, there's cameras everywhere. Who cares? No one's really watching you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you like? There's like so many changes I want to touch on, but one of these, like what you just mentioned, is that how you uh, speak to yourself. So what changed in how you speak to yourself?
Um, I, I talk to myself like that I'm a friend.
Ah,
Before I didn't. It was like my uh like the fat sister. Like
yeah,
before I never even thought that that was even a thing. I just thought that's how it is. But
yeah,
now I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It doesn't matter. I talk to myself like I'm the friend
yeah,
and with kindness as well. And sometimes, yeah, like sometimes we have not so good days and it's
yeah,
okay. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, you want to go eat the chocolate? Go eat it. And
yeah.
then when I go there and I'm like, I want to eat that chocolate, I'm desperate. I buy
Uh,
it and I'm like, and then I forget that it's in the fridge.
uh-huh,
I forget that I was like, yeah, I was like, where are those mints? I thought I bought some. Let's go buy some more because I
yeah,
want it. I really want it. I'm like, okay, well, let's go get it.
uh,
And then I put it somewhere and then I get distracted by something else.
yeah,
And then, oh, I thought I bought mints. And then then it happens again. I'm like, and then I open the fridge or whatever, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I can't believe I forgot. I had
uh-huh,
Christmas cake in my fridge. My friend gave it to me, and I had it
uh-huh,
in foil. Like he
yeah,
gave it. I was like, oh, cup of tea. I can't wait, cup of
yeah.
tea. And then I put it in the fridge. That was like 2 weeks ago, and only
Mm.
yesterday I ate it. So I was like, oh,
Wow.
isn't that crazy? I
Yeah.
was every day I was like, oh, I'm gonna have that Christmas cake. I'm gonna have a
Uh-huh.
Christmas cup of tea. And then what happens is you like cook dinner, you go out with your friends, you come home or you go to like wherever and you come home late and it's like, no, I can't enjoy that cup of tea now. Like
Hmm.
it's too late,
Hmm.
too late to have a tea. And then I was like, no, I don't want the Christmas cake. I want to have it like I want to eat it slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
so
relate.
it's like permission, I think, and talking to myself with kindness.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you want to eat it? Go. No big
Hmm.
deal.
Yeah. There is like that is a such a big shift because we are like most of us we are so good at talking ourselves like calling us with all kind of names like that if especially if something is not going as planned, you end up overeating eating something
Mhm,
what you shouldn't be doing or not
mhm.
exercising or whatever it might be, and then you are like that you fucking idiot what you did again, like that you are so gross and ugly and whatever you are talking to yourself. But then if you're really like you said that you start to talk with yourself like how you would talk to your best friend, like
Yeah,
you wouldn't tell to your best friend if your best friend is coming to you that I ended up eating cake or like 5 pieces of cake and now I feel really bad about it. Probably your best friend wouldn't tell that you idiot what you did, like now go to punish yourself,
yeah.
but your friend would say that it's okay,
Mm.
it happens, now try to get back on track, like
Yeah.
how you should be, and learning from that mistake. But those things are very hard to
Yeah.
tell to ourselves, and that is, I think, such a big shift in you. What you have been. I hope you are proud of yourself. What you.
Yeah, I think about like the impact that you had on me because I don't think I ever said thank you, but I really do say thank you because the impact is still even now, right? So like not my rule, but my mindset is like, okay, you go wild, go get drunk, whatever. But every
Mm,
morning I have that smoothie and it sets me up like it's a
mm,
restart,
mm,
like a restart. So I have my smoothie, mix it with
yeah.
like what do you call it? Some protein powder with
Oh,
some
nice.
mango and banana. Uh, and then like I have a coffee and I had 4 dates just because I felt like it. And I was like, great,
Oh,
set me up. And some vitamin C, a vitamin D tablet, and I'm done. Like I'm set up for the day.
yeah,
And again, every day is a new day. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't oh I yesterday I ate I ate some chips or whatever. It's like I don't care, it's done now,
yeah.
can't change it.
No, no, and
Yeah.
then it's like that. It's one of the most powerful things what you can do is that regardless what happens day before, you
Mm.
start the next day
Yeah.
exactly same as
Yeah.
nothing would happen.
Yeah, nothing's happened, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone crazy with any like I haven't sometimes yes I do overeat, yes, but
Mm.
the negative talk is more detrimental, it's more damaging than the food itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I that is so well said and so true.
Mm.
So you once I still remember you told me that walking actually became more than exercise. What did that walking start to represent for you?
I think it was that it's not the fact that you're going from A to B. It's
Hmm.
beyond. I'm not just using it to get from home to school or school to home.
Hmm.
Before it was a way of like transport from A
Hmm.
to, but now it's not really like that. It's just I feel like walking around. I'm like, yeah, all right. Sometimes I listen to something, sometimes I don't. Yeah, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's more than transport. It's not like you're moving to get somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Like moving to nowhere, getting to nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because this is, and it's because it's how that started to change. Like, because if I remember, like in the beginning, like you started the first time to track your steps, like how many
Yeah,
steps you are doing, and then you were like that, you are walking a little bit, and then I don't know how many steps you had, like on your daily basis. Was it
yeah,
like 3, 4 thousand or?
yeah. It starts with nothing because I never tracked. Like
Yeah.
I've never tracked anything, and so I was like, oh, and a surprise. It was
Hmm.
very surprising.
Yeah.
So
Was it?
the negative chat is you lead a sedentary life, you don't
Mhm.
move anywhere, you probably do less than 100 steps. It's like, and then it would be like comparing to the past. It's like when you were in Doha and you had a car and all you did
Hmm.
was you drove a lot.
Yeah.
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 But that's not true because I don't have a car.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have to, but was it then like, was it when you started to see like chasing some numbers or tracking? Was it
Yeah.
like, how did it feel like that you set actually a step goal? What you had like,
Yeah, you told me once that someone tracked their all their steps, and I was like,
mm,
and when you told me, I was like, what? How? I was like trying to work out how to do it. I bought a
yeah,
purse like to put my phone in and make sure like at school I was collecting all my steps, and then it's
mm,
like a competition
yeah,
very quickly turned into like, right, okay, I'm on 4,000. I know that if I go like up the stairs or down the stairs, 3 flights, I can make it. And
yeah,
then by the time like I started to know like how many steps it was from here to here. Or if
yeah.
I was like walk fast or if I walk slow.
Hmm.
Yeah. and then that
Yeah.
was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it's that kind of competitive person within yourself that you compete
Yes.
against
Yeah.
yourself, that you set the goal. Like I still remember, like was it because I it's there are like either daily goals or weekly goals, total amounts, and then you are like that. Okay, now I want to get 5,000 steps on average per day, so
Yeah.
35,000 per week, and then you start to chase those numbers, and then you're like, oh, I'm missing 500 steps. What I need to do to get
Yes.
those 500?
Oh yeah, I remember. I used to like walk around my apartment to hit the numbers. And the last time I ever did that was when it was COVID and we couldn't leave. And so
Mhm.
like I worked out a circuit in my apartment from my bedroom, like weaving in and out like a figure of eight. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh, remember I did that.
yeah,
Because I was
yeah,
like, I'm determined. I want it. I want that
yeah,
number.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
And then
I'm the same.
yeah.
I'm the same. Like sometimes, like when I had a like some goal number, or is it 10,000 or whatever, and or especially during the COVID when you couldn't move so much, and then you are like that 10 o'clock in the evening, like I'm missing 500 steps. That it means that I need to walk in apartment for
Yes.
10 minutes, just quickly that I get my steps or activity
Yes.
goals. Like it's feels kind of like if you really think it, that it's kind of stupid thing to do, like that you are 10 o'clock in the evening getting your steps in. But if you really like, somebody's listed that this is so stupid, but actually when I think it back, that these kind of things, it's not only about like, does it make a difference if you get those couple hundred steps more? Probably
Mm.
not, but
Yeah.
it's more about like that actually setting a goal and following through, keeping
Yeah.
promises what you make to yourself.
That's true. That is true. And like I found that it was obviously, yeah, you're right. It doesn't do anything. Like now I think about it, no, it doesn't. But like finding ways to get that extra 1,000 steps, because obviously I realized that because my apartment is quite small, I realized
Hmm.
that if I walk up and down the corridor
Yeah.
at like 6:30, I could probably make it in less time.
Hmm.
And so I would do that. And then because it's like there's cameras in the corridor, like the management would come in and be like, they'd turn all the lights on. I was like, no, I don't want to be seen. And then I was
Yeah.
like, no, I don't care. Like, I need to get my steps in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
before, I'd be like, "Oh, I must walk in darkness." And
Yeah.
when you see it from their perspective, they're like thinking it's like an intruder, like
Yeah.
pacing. It's like, no, actually, it's me. I live here. Like,
Uh-huh.
mm. Yeah, the
Awesome.
amusement. It's the amusement of it.
Yeah. No, and you are like it's all these things led that you were able to. You were walking, you were in a long hike, and there were so many things what you were able to do
Yeah.
after starting, like really from
Did the
almost no.
Camino. I did a little bit of the Camino.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like a weird dream that I
Uh-huh.
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like, so tell a little bit about that journey. What?
Oh my lordy lord, where do I start? That was a thing that after surgery. So I just tell you that I had a cyst on my ovary. It was during the time
Mm,
that I was with Turo, and yeah, and it was such a shock and a surprise, and it explained a lot about what was happening with my health. I had
mm,
like a 50p sized bald spot on my head, and I
mm,
was very stressed, tired, very, very stressed. And I had like like unusual pain in my knee, which I thought was because I was overweight, and people had
mm,
said you osteoarthritis, which
mm,
fueled the negative chat in my head. And so whilst I was with you, I was trying to untangle that. Um, I had one ovary removed, and the cyst was removed from both. I had a big one and a little one cyst, and so because of that, I had an opportunity in my life at 40 to do something quite big.
uh-huh,
And so that summer, just after the surgery, I was talking to friends over breakfast, and I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing the Camino." And
mm.
they were like, instantly, these two ladies were like, "Oh, we can do it with you." And I was like, "Oh, it's
Wow.
happening." It
Yeah.
like that's how it started. And I was like, because this one is a Australian, one is a American, and then me, the British. I was like, okay. I was like, and I instantly paranoid. I was like, I don't think I'm fit enough. Like,
Yeah.
like that's negative chit chat number one. I don't think I
Yeah.
can do that. But we went through the motions. I bought the backpack. I got the shoes. I got the stuff, and etc. And obviously, like I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. What I mean is, I didn't have the clue of how much impact it had on my life and how much it changed me.
Uh-huh.
And so we started in France. We all flew to Paris. We all collected in Paris. We got the train down. We started at like I can't even remember all the names. And when I and there was so much chat like in my brain about like how bad I would be, how I couldn't do it. And
Mm.
in the end, what happened was you just organize yourself from one spot to the next. You don't look at the big picture. And I think that's how my life has turned out now. Is like
Mm.
rather than looking at all of it like a humongous land of like this is shit, it's like no, you're only looking at 3 kilometers from here to here.
Yeah.
And then you just need to make sure that if you're at like point A, you need to organize your accommodation to point B, and
Uh-huh.
that is 3 kilometers, and you can make it
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than looking at, oh, Jesus, I can't do 171 miles. How am I going to do that? It was like,
Yeah.
no, that was never. And everyone I spoke to was like, it was like therapy. Honestly, I
Yeah.
do recommend it for everyone and anyone. But that negative chat in my brain was on like high alert. When I started, I was crying because I thought, oh, the thing that we don't ever admit, or I never admitted, is how much I compare myself to others.
Yeah.
How much
That
now I
is.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Or see how I see myself through the eyes of others,
Mm.
and that is so dangerous because it like I felt like they don't give a shit, and they were so nice to me.
Yeah.
And that's where I found like strangers were being so nice to me
Uh,
that I didn't have I was never that kind to myself.
wow.
And
Wow.
so that's how it changed. And on top of that, I was really sick, but I didn't know because I live in
Yeah.
Yangon. There was a parasite in the water, but I didn't know. I just
Yeah.
thought this is just I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't think I can do this. I'm so sick. Like a parasite. Who knew? I didn't
Of
know for
course.
3 weeks. And
Wow.
this, I didn't also know that I had so much strength in myself that I could get halfway through the Camino before I realized I cannot carry on.
Uh-huh.
So let me just tell you what a parasite is. A parasite is when you drink some water or you eat something that has a bug in it, and the
Uh-huh.
bug sits in your intestines. So although I wasn't eating, like I really wasn't eating.
Mm.
Um, I'd like have half an orange juice like cup, half a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of croissant, and it would get me for 3 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then it's like really bad tummy problems, like really
Yeah.
bad diarrhea, a headache, and
Yeah.
I slept a lot. Like I'd sleep like 11 hours. I just
Wow.
thought, I'm so unfit that your body
Ah.
is like sleeping. Like I would arrive at like 1. I'd leave really early because I was paranoid that I would get
Mm.
sunburned. I don't want to be sunburned, and I'm not fast.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't have the words. I didn't know have any Spanish. I had no idea how to say anything.
Mm.
Uh, and so then from there, that I would be really poorly in the tummy. I would have some sort of some food just to like tide me over,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't understand like what was wrong with my stomach. And I was
Yeah.
drinking a lot and just very, very run down, like really
Yeah.
exhausted until like I think in the end I was in I can't remember. I was in a little place and messages if you like we had a school WhatsApp like
Mm.
people on there, and I didn't know because I wasn't in contact with anyone and I was walking on my own, and
Mm.
every day I wrote poems. Like I wrote poems,
Mm.
anything that I saw. And always the biggest takeaway is it's okay to say like you're not doing well.
Mm.
Yeah. The kindness that I've had from others was the most important drive I have ever felt.
Yeah.
Like in my heart, I would be like telling the universe, I don't think I can do this. I really don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
And then or getting some fruit from a van who was selling like piles of like apricots. Like this smell was intense, and like I can only really I think I can have one before my stomach explodes. I was like, right,
Wow.
one, and then I tried to pay, and they're like, it's okay, because you can tell I'm a Camino walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
So,
reason why it captures me is because I'd never had that. I never. I never had that kind of kindness and like
wow.
care for myself. And it was the fact that someone did it to me, regardless of how I looked, is
Uh,
always important. Is always I always think about it.
yeah.
And I had so many free things because of it. Like not
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, I want that free thing, but I had that because I was able to say like I'm not well. I've had like diarrhea for 2 weeks or three
Mm.
weeks. I end up crying in a pharmacy with using Google Translate. Like I am not really well, and I wanted to be like, I don't think this is because I'm unfit. I think I'm really really sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and I went to hospital. I had a translator. I got friends, and I ended up break. The reason why I realized, oh, I have a parasite, because it explains
Yeah.
a lot. Because I just didn't know. I just
Yeah.
thought
Of course.
unfit. I thought, God, my body really doesn't want me to do this.
Mm.
This is so bad. Like I was sleeping like 11, 12 hours, then
Uh,
having to like organize, get everything.
yeah.
And I only had like one change of clothes, two pairs
Yeah.
of underwear, hiking sticks poking out of my
Yeah.
backpack. I felt like so out of place.
Mm.
But and then in the end, I was like, no, I'm part of this life. I'm supposed to be here,
Yeah.
supposed to meet these people. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do this. And then it was from a WhatsApp message from a friend, a colleague. Uh, I had a pin in my Google Maps that said Gihon, and it was a pin, like a hiking pin. I was like, well, that's totally off my map. I don't know why that's there. And it was very, very close. And I was like maybe an hour away by train. And I was like, oh, it's a seaside town. Oh my God, imagine you could just have cups of tea and like recuperate, like just have cups of tea, sit on the beach, cry, be near water and just have a
Mm.
break. So I was like, you should have a break. And then I was only ever thinking about it. And then in the school WhatsApp message, someone put a photo of Gihon.
Mm.
I've arrived in Gihon. Hope everyone's having a great time 3 weeks into their summer break. And I was like, what the fuck? Someone I know is there.
Uh,
Someone I know is there. Someone I know. That was like the biggest like relief. So as I was like, I bought a train ticket. I bought a ticket to Gihon. I organized Airbnb with a kitchen, so at least I could like have soup. That
uh,
was my plan. Drinks cups of tea and have soup.
yeah.
And it had a washing machine. That was it. I was like, I really need a washing machine. I don't want to hand wash anymore. Any more stuff. My hands, I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you can do this. You can totally do this. So as my train is like, I have to leave the hotel in like maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. This lady, this American lady, she's like, I've arrived in Gihon. So I send her a separate message. Hey, I'm on my way to Gihon. Are you there? And she's like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm there. And it's her and her husband, both American. They're in an Airbnb. Gihon's quite small in
Uh,
Spain. And they were like, oh yeah, come. She was like, oh my God, we can get great food. We can eat tapas. Because that was my plan, is to
mm.
walk and eat.
Yeah.
That was the whole part. I've eaten hardly anything. So I
Mm.
was like, okay. So she rings me. So I text her and just said, oh, I'll meet you. We can have tapas. We can have blah, 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 Asturias food. I was like, I can't. And I thought right there and then I need to let her know. Like, I can't eat anything. I can't eat anything. So I
Yeah.
messaged her saying, look, I'm really sorry. But she was like, we can have ice cream. I was like, I can't eat ice cream. Like everything I ate was just running through me. So anyway,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look, I went, look, I'm really sorry. I can't eat anything. I've got a really dodgy stomach. I've had like diarrhea for like 3 weeks now. I'm
Mm.
on, what you call it? They told me not to eat food. They said it was gastroenteritis, but it's been far too long. I'm taking probiotics, but it's not doing anything. I'm exhausted. I'm really tired. I'm coming off the Camino because I can't do it anymore. And that's it. And I just sent the message. And that was the first time that I ever gave the kindness to myself
Wow.
from the permission of seeing others give kindness to me. That
Wow.
was that. Yeah. And I was
Wow.
like, wow, isn't that? And I remember sending the message and then freaking out. And
Mm.
then inside of the 20 minutes of trying to get ready and leave, she sends a message back. She was like, don't worry, neither can I. Me and my husband have a parasite. And I was
Wow.
like, I was like, what? And I don't have time to like look it up because I've got to get ready and leave the hotel and like walk
Mm.
to the station. I was like, what? And she was like, you need to tell the boss, our director, that you've had diarrhea for 3 weeks. And I was like, I am not telling the American director that I've known for like however many years that I've got this problem, like I'm sick.
Mm.
And he's like, no, you need to tell him because he needs to know. And I was like, oh God, okay, right, fine. This is like without AI, because I did it very quickly. I was like, hey
Yeah.
Greg, hey, blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to let you know that I'm really sick. Right. So I send the message, right,
Mm.
thinking, oh, this is so bizarre. Like I would never, ever, ever tell anyone that I'm that sick. And then
Yeah.
he sent me a message privately back, like, hey Samia, I'm really sorry to hear that. You need to go to the pharmacy and get these not antibiotics, anti-parasite drugs.
Mm.
And he gave me like the photo of it, and I was like, okay, this is really weird. I don't, and then when I looked at it, I thought, I don't even know how to ask for food at the restaurant. How on earth am I gonna get these tablets
Mm.
in Spanish over
Yeah.
the counter in the pharmacy? Like I was already struggling to get a probiotic. I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with this now. I was like, and then he sent the same message to everybody on the school group where the first
Yeah.
lady, I'm in Gihon. Hey everyone, I've heard that a few of you have got problems with your stomach, and I was
Uh,
like, oh my God, I just started that. Like that's crazy. And
yeah.
and then it was like time to go. Like you need to go because you're not
Uh-huh.
you need to leave now. And so I was like, okay, okay. And I just managed to message her saying, hey, she asked me what time is your train? I'll come and meet you. And then I thought, God, that is so kind. And then I just thought, I just let her know that she needs to know this, that when I do see you, I'll probably end up crying because that's what I've
Mm.
done the past 3 weeks is cry a lot. And she was like, it's okay. Like that was it. It's okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And then yeah, she picked me up from the station. We were on foot. Like I felt like I was smelly. Like I mean, don't get me
Mm.
wrong, I hand washed everything. I'm pretty clean. But she was like, it's fine. And it's someone I have passed with. I know her from work. And I didn't know her
Mm.
very well. Like
Yeah.
I got to her. And then I was there for 5 days. And the minute I arrived, I did say, like, and she saw the message too. You need to
Yeah.
get these drugs. And she went, oh, um, my husband, Sean, he's already got his drugs. Let me help you get yours. And I was like, but I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak any Spanish. And she was like,
Mm.
it's okay. And when you get strong, like they're not antibiotics, they're strong like parasitic drugs to get
Mm.
it out of the system. She said, do you know what? Because I'm English, you can never buy it over the counter. You need a prescription.
Mm.
So I was like, how on earth? Like, because I had all of this like instant, like, how on earth am I going to get it? Like, I'm not in Yangon. We can't just buy it over the counter.
Mm.
So I arrive. She straight away takes me to the first pharmacy. She's speaking like broken Spanish,
Mm.
and the guy is an older gentleman, and he's looking at me clearly like I thought I looked okay, but she did say you look grey, like you don't look you. And I went
Mm.
okay. And I was thinking, there's a chance that I could get these drugs, I could be better. Like without
Yeah.
these, otherwise, like I'm gonna like I felt like I was gonna wither away. And
Yeah.
so she got the drugs for me, and the way she got it was initially she said, we need these drugs, because it was from a phone. We need these drugs. And he said no. And I could see him say no. And I just thought, oh my God, like where I'm gonna have to fly back to Yangon to get it because I
Yeah.
can't get it in England.
Yeah.
Like, like you can hardly get a paracetamol. So I was like,
Mm.
oh my God, okay. And then she was, do you know what how she got it? She said she's from Burma. She's been hiking in Burma.
Oh, wow.
Everybody knows Burma. Everybody knows Burma.
Yeah.
You, we don't know Yangon, we don't know Myanmar, but we all know that name. She works with a company in Burma. She's been hiking. She hiked here. She's been on the Camino for 3 weeks. She's really poorly. And then they went, and then it was blah, 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 and then he got it. And then I
Wow.
carried this bag, the paper bag with the drugs in. And she was like, come back to mine. And I was like, God, I just want to go to my Airbnb. And she was like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, come back to mine. We'll feed you. I was like, I can't eat anything. Like, I can't eat anything. Like, I can't eat anything. And I love food. And
Mm.
she went back. She like was telling me about certain ice cream to eat. Yeah. And then she like, you need to, and it was for 5 days, 6 days, 3 times a day, very
Yeah.
strong tablets. And I didn't think that I lost any weight, but they were like, it's not weight that you've lost. You've lost it in like the most awkward places
Yeah.
because you basically like pooping it out like 4 times a day and
Yeah.
like gray. I slept a lot and I couldn't understand. I was like, what is it that the because they were saying it's a parasite that lives in your intestine.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not eating, that's what I couldn't understand. The doctor said you've got gastroenteritis, and I was like, yes, but for 3 weeks, mate. And if it's not eating food that's in my stomach, what is it eating? And then that was the gross answer.
Wow.
It's eating you.
Yeah.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And like nothing, I still was the same. Like obviously because you're walking every day anyway, you lose a little bit of weight, but I
Mm.
still like I just look so sad. In
Yeah.
my face, I remember taking self-portraits and things, and I was like, I just look so sad.
Mm.
And like the sparkle in my eye, that power to get through it, like had dissipated and
Yeah.
disintegrated and had left the station. And so that my friend like and that text where I saw Gihon and that text was how it started. I thought, oh, that's what I need to make sure I do is
Wow.
be kind to myself.
Yeah.
And
And
then I just
it's funny
yeah.
how it all started. Like you get kindness from someone else, like getting a free fruit, who is from someone who sees that you are not doing well, doesn't
Yeah.
let you even pay, and then you start to realize that okay, there is nothing wrong with me. It's and
Yeah.
people are kind of to me also, regardless of what happened, and then you started to be actually kind for yourself too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is amazing. Like I can't tell enough how important that kind of shift is.
It seriously was.
That's a
It was
life-changing
It
experience.
was life changing, and my intention was never to join the Camino again. My
Mm,
intention was to stop at Gihon. That is it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I felt like I was a husk. And
mm,
in that time, I never told anyone how bad it was
mm.
because what I do is I hide it. I hide
Yeah,
how bad things are.
of
I'm
course.
like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, and then after that message, like other people are doing the Camino and they know that I have diarrhea. They know that I'm really sick. They know that like they know they thought they knew. And then when I started to really tell them, they were like, oh my God. And I
Yeah.
would meet people along the way who couldn't handle the Camino. And I'm like, where are you? They're like, oh, I'm finished. I stopped the Camino, I couldn't do it. And what happened? They're like, oh, I got a blister. I was like,
Mm,
oh. And so the comparing thing was
yeah.
not true. You can't compare
Uh-huh.
because you just can't compare. You can't use that as a weapon to say that I'm better than you because it's not true. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot of life lessons and a lot, and I was never going to carry it on until like
Yeah.
I spoke to another colleague, this French guy who was doing the Camino around Oviedo, around Spain, a different walk. We were doing the super famous one to Santiago, Santiago de Compostela, and the reason why I had to keep going, no, I wasn't just to was because my suitcase was in Santiago, and
Mm.
by then I was like, no, you stop at Gijón, you get a train across, you just stop, stop, stop. Um, and then what happened was I got better, and I felt more like myself within a day.
Wow.
Within a day after taking the 3 times and talking about it,
Yeah.
talking about it and suppressing all of those feelings, like the emotions of like all of the trauma with keeping it in,
Mm.
all came out. Like my mum was like, you should continue, you should really continue, you should get, you should. I was like, Mum, I'm actually really bad. Like, and then when the minute you tell people I've got a parasite, that they like release the pressure.
Yeah.
That pressure should already come off when you say I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so I found like being with them and being really truthful about how bad it was, how bad it actually was. You know, there obviously people had nobody knew at school that we got it from like we think we got it from a work event because there were so many of us that got
Mm.
it and it was already in the water. And then, you know, everyone is around, is scattered around the world. And, you know, like I'm on the Camino and they're like, how have you managed to walk and
Yeah.
get? And I was like, how have you managed? I was like, I just thought I was fat and unfit.
Mm.
Like, that's how I told them. And they were like, they were so shocked. They
Yeah.
were so shocked. They're like, no. And I was like, well, I know that now. I
Yeah.
just thought I was so unfit. Like all of that effort. I was clearly never going to be good enough. Like, my body was like, and they were like, no. They're like, oh my God, how did you manage it? And I was like, there were times when I went to the toilet, like, you know, squatting in a bush, having to like concentrate and watch an ant so I didn't like, you know, poop myself.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to change my clothes. I don't want to have to wash that off. And like having to really, really concentrate at this ant and like breathe out the pain.
Mm.
But like thing and like nothing, there was nothing like it, like nothing like it. And people that I met, like, and people were so kind because I'm not
Wow.
religious.
Yeah.
My name is Arabic. My father is Muslim. I'm technically Muslim by like by like heritage, but I'm not that person. You know, went to a
Mm.
church and there were moments where we like with the nuns singing, and then these really kind things would keep happening.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, people would always ask, why are you doing the Camino? And I was like, well, I thought, you know, and I was like, I thought that I could do it. And in my heart, I was like, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. But
So
you
like,
made it.
I
And
know,
with the parasite.
I know with a parasite. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm like, who knew? Who knew that would
Yeah.
happen? And
Yeah.
that voice that we have, the hidden voice that we have in our heart, that is not true.
Yeah.
That's what it's not true. It's not that you were not good enough. It was
No.
that you need it. And you have to like the same story has a different perspective. And
Yeah.
that these little like nuances about how we live and how we live, like really look upon ourselves. And, you know,
Uh,
yes, you could be the single fat woman forever. And I was like, no,
uh,
that's not true. I did that Camino
mm.
uh, with a friend in my stomach. But you know, like we could easily make a joke of it, but it's
Of
not.
course. No, at the moment it was not funny.
No, no, but that's the thing. It is funny because I never told anyone. And then
Yeah.
when I started, they were horrified.
Oh
My mum
yeah.
was like, "Oh my God, you need to get off it. You need to." She was like, "You need to see a doctor." And I was like, "You have not like." For me, I did the Camino like on foot walking with like really bad stomach problems. Like I hardly ate anything, and
Uh,
that's why when I found out in my friend's apartment in Gijón, I don't understand how I've still got diarrhea when I haven't eaten anything.
mm.
And they were like, Sammy, what are you eating for breakfast? I was like, a little bit of croissant, some dry cracker bread, like stale. By now it's stale. Some little bit of ham, you know, little
Mhm.
jambon, a slice of ham, and a slice of a slither of cheese. Something I would never eat because I was like, oh, I need protein because I need to walk. And they were like,
Mhm.
how do you make it? And I was like, I don't know. I said, I'll write poems and I look at the ground a lot. And they're like,
Mm.
like walking 3 kilometers in like high temperature, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I did do the train a lot. That's why I'm like, I did do the train. I did get buses and stuff.
Mm.
And they're like, but you still walked. I mean, yeah, I had to walk, yeah, because there's no way to get to the next place. And the
Mm.
place is so obscure that there's no route. And
Mm.
yeah, I did do it. And so that
Wow.
intestine was eating me. It's gross, man. It was so gross to know
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
so all all that kindness, has to go somewhere. They
Yeah.
like how do I explain it? The kindness like burns off the horrible armor that I was wearing to protect myself.
Mm.
My little my little soft core of who I am started to appear.
Yeah.
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 And so
Wow.
it like burned off more and more. And I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. No one is
Yeah.
judging you. They're more
No.
mesmerized by you. And it
Yeah.
is your job to like tell them. And
Yeah.
so when my story is my story and my friend's story, Sean, he went to how many hospitals? 4 hospitals in 4 different countries because
Wow.
his diarrhea, I'm sorry to say, was horrific, like
Yeah.
mine, but I like suppressed that power,
Mm.
like to that kind of like I don't think I'm well, and I pushed on.
Yeah.
And he was like, he went to Germany, he went to France, he went to Portugal, he went to Spain. And eventually, like, uh, he also never found out the reason without the director's link of the parasite
Wow.
hoax. It
Yeah.
was it just happened. It just happened. And that's why I thought, oh, it's working with me. Life is
Yeah.
working with me. It's
Wow.
not against me. It's not all these coincidences of people being kind. It's where people are like,
It's
they say,
it
I
was meant
am
to be.
seen. I'm seen.
Yeah. And it was meant to be exactly
It's so
how it
meant to
was.
be. You're meant to be like that. You are much stronger than you realize.
Yeah.
I mean, who hikes a little bit of the Camino? I think in the end, I like added up all my kilometers, and I used to be like really embarrassed. Like,
Uh,
how many kilometers have you done today? Like, people would ask me, and I'm like, oh, it's not much. I'll be like, no, I did 3. And they're like, oh, some people would be like that. They're like, oh, and then how much have you done? Oh, I've done 27. And I was like, oh, fuck me. I'm not, I
yeah.
can't. And, and before, like, I would never say it.
Yeah. Because we
But
compare ourselves
because
for
I compare.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, they think it's because I'm fat.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not ugly and fat. I am fat. It's just that's how I am. That's my body type. But I'm not like we're not stupid. I was like that's the bit that we need to. Fat is just a description.
Yeah.
You can still be fat and strong. You can be fat and quiet.
Yeah.
That Camino started to like really, really
Change
mentally
the shift.
alter and change my
Mm.
perception. The
Yeah.
guy who gave me the fruit where I almost started crying because
Mhm.
I was like, no, 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 I want to pay. He was like, no, like, and there was
Wow.
no English,
Yeah.
you know, and all the word that I got out of from him was Camino, and he pointed at my sticks, and I was like, I felt like a fraud,
Mm.
and that's a really hard thing to like admit because I joined the Camino thinking I could finish, like you could do
Mm.
it. I was like, no, finishing isn't about the end goal. It's not
Yeah.
finishing to get the certificate. Finishing is when you feel like this is the end before
Yeah.
yourself. And so I will always remember that man, the van man, and
Yeah.
the handful of apricots from the farm. And I
Wow.
did eat it, and it did wreck my stomach really badly, but it was worth it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and uh just finishing. I thought I was gonna finish in Gihon,
Uh-huh.
but after getting the parasite, like the drugs that I got, I felt much. I felt like I felt like I felt like all the weight had gone. All of that. You'd be surprised. That's what it was so surprising. I was so surprised about how much strength I had.
Mm.
Like people talk about strength and inner strength, but strength is not just
Inside of
lifting,
it.
it's the
Yeah.
inner strength.
Yeah.
I walked the Camino with a parasite. Like that's what I started to say. And because
Hmm.
they were like, oh, And they're like, what? How? I was like, I work in Burma. And they were like, oh my God. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, forget, I work there. That is a crazy place to live.
Mm.
you know. And so after Gihon and after 5 days, we were talking about it, and they're like, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "My plan is to get trains and jump to the end to get to Santiago." And they were like, "Actually, when I spoke to a French guy who was in of Wedo, he was telling me like you can go to a place that will stop the Camino with peace." And I
Mm.
was like, "What does that mean?" And he said, Villa de Bezo. And I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know what that means. I've never heard of it. And he said, it's here. And it's like, I can't remember, maybe 50 kilometers. I was like, I don't think I can make it. And
Mm.
then when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, you can. You just break it up. You like really like zoom in. Normally people hike all of it in one go. But what I
Mhm.
was doing is I was jumping between the little teeny tiny towns. And that's where I stayed. I stayed in the most like not so obvious place. I stayed the first place I stayed in when they asked me if I wanted food. I was like, no. And I knew the word now. Like, I've got a bug in my stomach. Like,
Mm.
I in Spanish. And they were like, oh, I'll make you some rice. And they were like,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
And that was like, and obviously that first night I slept poorly because someone's snoring, someone's hacking up, like coughing, the
Uh-huh.
water in the bathroom is cold. But I felt so alive. Like I
Wow.
felt like, yes, you could totally do this,
Mm.
and by that stage, I wasn't expecting to see anyone, right?
Mm.
And I'd met people at the beginning where they go, "Oh, how are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but like I was crying in the toilet, I was crying while I was walking.
Mm.
So I met a doctor at the very beginning of when we started, and I really wanted to tell him I'm really sick. But I thought,
Mm.
don't do that. He hasn't come on the Camino to like listen to people's like stories,
Uh-huh.
right? About how sick you are. So I kept it quiet and I just didn't. It's like a pill of
Yeah.
shame sits on the
Yeah.
back of the tongue that you can't swallow, but you can't
Uh-huh.
spit it out. And so, like, I wasn't expecting to see anyone because all the people that I had met along the way were much faster than me and had
Yeah.
finished, or that's how I thought,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I stayed in these like auberge, which is like these like beds next to churches, and they
Mm-hmm.
were technically free, like very, very limited spaces and limiting, and it wasn't that pricey. And people would tell me like, you should go here. And one was in Hospital de Obaigo, and I was like, God. And I was like, I'd already pinpointed another place because I met a lady, and I was like, oh, never say no to a recommendation,
Uh-huh.
even if the recommendation, when you Google it, looks like a dump.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I was like, and they were like, Sammy, it's really beautiful. It has a garden. You would really like it. And they were, because they knew by then when I started the next round of Camino to get to the end point was like, they knew I had a bug in my stomach. I can't walk far. And they were like, it's okay. It's 7 kilometers. You can totally make it. They said, leave really early and,
Mm-hmm.
watch the sunrise as you're walking. You'll be fine. Just take lots of rests. And I was like, God, I've got a really nice place. It's got 5 stars on Google, right?
Mm.
This place has got like 1 star, doesn't look good. And I'm like, oh God. But they were like, this is linked to the church, it's linked to 2 monks, it's very peaceful. And to have a recommendation versus Google, right?
Mm.
What do I
It's
do?
yeah.
It is like I felt like, what do I do? So I cancelled the 5 star Google, like the 5 star like auberge. I cancelled it. And then I went to the recommendation, knowing that it is 1 star. And I thought, it is a recommendation, trust the process. Like,
Uh-huh.
trust the process. I arrive, it is stunning. That's the
Wow.
photo that's on my ID for your app,
Oh,
right? I
nice.
arrive. There are people that look like like very, very sweaty. All right.
Yeah.
I've walked 7. I think I'm like, whew, I found that hard. And I was like, that's probably the most I've ever done in the 3 weeks. And I
Wow.
stopped a lot. I wrote a lot of poems. I sat down a lot. I had like they gave me like boiled eggs. They gave me
Uh,
banana. They gave me like a roast potato, like a boiled potato. I finally arrive in a hospital to Tobago, and I'm like, oh, let's go check out. I mean, the city's beautiful. It's medieval, like what you call it? The stone pathway. You could imagine that you could hear the click clop of like horses, and there's a
Wow.
river, and there's like white birds everywhere. I'm like, okay. I get
Wow.
there. I'm the first one to arrive because I want a space. I pick my bed. It's in a bunk bed of seven. Okay. I unpack, I will hand wash my clothes, and there's a bathtub, like there's a like a garden area and like a fake sauna with a bathtub. So anyway, I do that. Then I'm like, go get some food, chill out by the river, have a cup of tea. Um, and then that's when around about like 1 o'clock, between 1 and 4, that's when everyone starts to arrive, because that's the hiking. Like people are taking like 27, 30, 40 something. They're walking crazy. So I was like,
Mhm.
so I'll go back, right? Bear in mind, I haven't seen anyone. This is my first point to arrive. I walk in and I clock eyes with this girl, and she looks at me and she's like, oh mon Dieu, oh my God. And she's pointing at me, and I'm
Mm.
like, and I point back and I'm like, oh my God. And this is like 3 weeks later, this same
Yeah.
lady that I met at the very, very
In the
beginning, when
beginning.
I didn't see, I
Wow.
didn't tell her I was really sick. I didn't say anything. I was just like really slow. And she's like, oh my God, how did you get here? How did you get here? So we ended up talking. And she's telling me like the guy that we met at the same time had really bad blisters and ended up cycling the rest of the Camino, but quit it, blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you? Because technically I'm like ahead, but I was like, I'm not ahead. I stopped in Gihon for 5 days. And they're like, what happened? What happened? And I was like, I have a parasite. And they were like, oh, and that was it. Like you walked with yeah, I clearly did, yeah. And that was like my absolute strength. I was like, yes, oh yes. The more I heard
Yeah.
it, the more I believed it.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed. I needed to listen to it and be like, Samia, you walked Camino with a parasite. Who does
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
Like,
There are not many.
that's not that. It's not like it's not normal. It's just like it's not weird. It's just like I didn't know. And they're like, "What do you mean you didn't know?
But
How's
you
your
did it
stomach?"
anyways.
Yeah, I was like, my stomach was really bad. Like it
Oh
was
yeah.
really bad. And like I told her about the ant story where I stare at the ant and make sure I don't like, put myself. But
Hmm.
they were like, that's crazy. And so that was not the only story. I met lots of people like that. Fast
Yeah.
forward to the
But
end.
it's just that comparison what you said, like what
Oh,
kind of,
crazy.
there is
What?
so many different stories, and you probably, like you said, that you are walking 3 kilometers and then you ask somebody else, oh, I did 26 in one day, and then
Yes.
you are like, okay, but then it's not the only, you only probably hear those, but when you see that there is somebody else, you are still ahead of someone else. So,
Yeah.
and there is no, you are doing, in the end, it's your journey, it's your story,
Yeah.
like in a life, that there is no comparison, like there is always someone else who is ahead of you,
Always.
always
Always.
someone who is behind of you, and it all that doesn't really matter.
And that's where it's so fascinating because when I went to the final town, and it wasn't great. Like I'll be honest, it was like some of them were horrible.
Mm.
Like the bedding was horrible, and like the very last time I was going to be like, I am ending in this place, Villa de Bezo. I'm going to the church to pray that I am not. Please release me from the Camino because I am poorly. I have a parasite in my bug. Please release me. And I wanted to
Mm.
have a nice calm end. I get to the last like auberge, the last like bed for the night by the church with the birds. I turn a corner and there's the girl that I met at the very first day.
Wow.
And she recognizes me. Like that is, and then obviously the conversation of like, oh, I'm really poorly. I've been really poorly from
Mhm.
the beginning, and they're like, what the craziness? And we're teachers.
Yeah,
We
this
meet other
opens your eyes.
teachers, and they was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really,
Hmm.
humble. It's humbling to be
Yeah.
seen after 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. Oh
And I
yeah.
wasn't, and she walked with me.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
ridiculous bed bugs.
Yeah.
I woke up and it was like bouncing up my arm. The last
Uh-huh.
photo of me praying at the church was um I had bed bugs going up my arm, like you could see it's red. Go to a
Yeah.
pharmacy. I don't speak Spanish. She speaks Spanish. She gets some cream for me. I'm like, oh, and I was
But
like, this,
isn't that so powerful to have to see that kind of moment when when you understand that you are not alone, you are not the only one. There are
yes,
other people in not in the same situation, but kind of similar situation.
yes, and so much judging, so
Yeah,
much pressure, so
yeah,
much like the pill of shame that I couldn't swallow or spit out, like that sat
mm,
at the back of my tongue. I was like, no. I was
mm,
like, you can't eat like this is where I was like learning so much about myself.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I
yeah,
enjoyed it. There were
yeah.
times when I didn't enjoy it and I cried a lot, but the crying, like I would talk to people, very limited English, and an Italian lady who'd be like, I started in blah, blah, blah. I've cried every day. I didn't even know I had these
Wow,
tears. And I was like, and that
wow.
is so refreshing.
Oh, I bet.
The more I opened up, people opened up with me.
Yeah.
And she shared one tomato with me and a bit of bread,
Mm.
some garlic, and some olive oil. And I went, wow, this is the, and I
Yeah.
could actually taste it. When I just
Wow.
started telling people I was really sick, they invited me for a stew, and it was like some tuna potato stew. And I was like, I can't eat anymore, I'm sorry. And they were like, please take it. You need it for your stomach. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. You
Yeah.
know, they changed. Like when I said, I was like, when I arrived, there was only a bunk bed, and the only space is the top bunk. And I was like, oh my God, I can't be on the top bunk. I've got a dodgy
Mm.
stomach. I've got a bug in my stomach. They were like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll help you move. We'll swap you around.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh,
Yeah. And even when it's like not, life doesn't feel like it's going well and it's scummy and dirty and grimy. And there's
mm.
just so much pure kindness within that.
Yeah.
Like and language is not the prerequisite of
No,
kindness. You
no,
don't need it.
no.
And
It's
that's
just
where
those actions.
yeah. And all of that. And even
Mm.
now, yes, I am fat. That is just how it is. But I feel strong.
Hmm.
Like I feel strong. And like my mom, my Japanese mother, like my little Japanese mother, very petite, struggles to open cans. And I'm like, here, let me show you how to do it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, and all of that strength for picking things up or strength for doing, I'm like, oh, I am actually quite strong. Like I
Yeah.
live in Burma for
Yeah.
6 years. I
Yeah.
dealt with a parasite. I do this,
Yeah.
but that's where my armor's changed. Like it's more like silver as opposed to be
Hmm.
like soot, like dark sooty black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to touch like something what you just mentioned, your home and background a little bit. Like you mentioned in the beginning, like that you recently lost your dad.
Mm.
So how did losing your dad change the way you see yourself and your body?
Yeah. So dad had so much pressure on me to like conform. So my dad was Egyptian.
Hmm.
Uh, and all my life, it's always been an issue about weight. You should be slim. You should be do this. If you eat less and move more, that was their motto.
Hmm.
Eat less, move more. Uh,
Mm.
but no one tells you like, actually, that's not going to work
Yeah.
because it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody, like body shapes, I mean.
Yeah.
Um, and so having that motto and trying to lose weight, not weight, trying to like be more like who I'm supposed to be, because
Uh,
that's what I thought. And then losing dad, my dad had Parkinson's. He had stage 4 Parkinson's with dementia.
mhm.
Uh, and his mind was going like slowly, slowly. I wasn't there to see the slow changes. I was there because every time I went home, it was more drastic.
Mhm.
Uh, it's like although I untangled the strings and the connectedness of the control from dad a long time ago, the his passing was still. a challenge. I never knew. Like I never knew how much I really, really loved him. Like
Mm,
all of that. Because there was so much darkness, like so much like pressure to like lose weight. You must lose weight.
mm,
But it's more like it's the way of the wording that is an issue.
mm.
You must be you're so fat. Oh, you're like they used to mock me when I was younger. Like they I have two brothers, so it was dad and my two brothers that would laugh at me. And
Wow.
I don't know if I told you, like there was a photo when I looked at recently, and I was looking through my dad's hard drive because I'm mum and
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
I'm the
you
one
mentioned that.
I'm the one who starts to do more. I'm more action based. I can help and I can guide. It's my teaching ethos. And I was looking through photos and I was like, wow, oh my God, you were so beautiful as a kid.
Mm,
You were so different. And I see it in the three of them. They're like, yes, I know that moment. They were mocking me about my weight, how much I was eating, the speed I was eating. And I was like,
mm,
of course you're going to eat like that. And it's like after dad passing, it was like it's almost like I have to release a part of myself and say goodbye to it
mm.
because it's like it has to dissolve and like become more me again.
Yeah.
It's and it's like the balls of string. It's like that little string that leads to like my younger self and the dad that I knew back then, who was mean, who abused my brothers against me about my weight, or like I would never wore shorts, I never wore a skirt, I never wore a dress because I would show my thighs, and and I always used to have to hide it away. It's I have to like release the layers, and that's what grief is doing to me. Is
Mm,
like the the inner layers of the flower of like it's just having to come apart.
yeah.
And so his passing is has been quite hard because as also we had to say goodbye to dad further back because he started changing. His dementia was changing
Yeah.
him. He was so nice. Like he
Wow.
was so nice. And I was like, I didn't know that.
That, that there is
And
that
it,
kindness inside.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, it's different. And my friend described it as it's the onion layers of who someone is. You
Uh-huh.
just have the opportunity to learn another layer of your
Yeah.
father. And I was
Yeah.
like, and it'd be like dad who can't walk anymore. Very clever dad who can't walk anymore. His mind is gone. It'd be like I'd go see him in the nursing home, and I was like, "Oh, how are you, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to work today." I went, "Wow, really?" I was like, "What did you
Wow.
do?" And like things like that. And he would never tell me about his work. We were never
Uh-huh.
allowed in his office
Uh-huh.
because his office was private. He had like a huge collection of like 200 books.
Wow.
And during COVID, I noticed it because I was there for like maybe I was there for a while, a long
Mm.
while. They cleared it because I needed somewhere to work that was away from their bed because I was working nights at night. And
Yeah.
so I started to see another layer of dad, and that's why it brings it back to grief. It's
Hmm.
the layers. We're not just one person, we're many layers.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it what was the hardest part? Was it the grief itself or how people around you reacted?
That's so interesting. I think it's the grief itself. I just didn't know anything about it. You read it, but you're not really aware. It's not linear. It's not
Yeah.
flat. It's so
Yeah.
many layers. It's like
Yeah.
it's like layers of fat.
Yeah.
Like you got the fun stuff at the beginning where everything was so numb when it happened. And
Uh-huh.
I I was more pleased that everybody was there.
Uh-huh.
And the speed, like things that we take for granted, because I have two brothers and we're
Yeah.
not close. I'll be honest, we're not close. We're trying to be. We're really
Hmm.
trying to be right now because I think we all keep our cards very, very close.
Mm.
Never like let it down and go, I'm not doing okay. Like
Yeah.
I told my brother recently, like he asked me how I am, and I was like, no, I'm not, honestly not doing okay.
Yeah.
And it's just because we love dad so much. And
Yeah.
all our lives revolved around him when we went
Mm.
home. So I think it's the grief itself
Mm.
is a shock
Yeah.
because you think that you have a
Yeah.
tough childhood, you think that you can get over it very quickly,
Yeah.
but
But it
it's not,
takes time.
yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
But
And
and that's why,
that's
like,
okay.
yeah, back to the beginning, it is uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
But then my spirit just tells me like it will be okay.
Yeah.
You just
It will be. It will be at it. We don't know how long it will take.
yeah,
It takes what it takes, and that is the kind of there is no really fix it that you can do that now go away. It takes time, and
yeah,
it takes what it takes. We can't
yeah.
really like speed up
No,
it
and
or
yeah, and that's the thing, like that I keep thinking, oh, you need to tell people that you're not okay
Mhm.
because on the surface I'm fine.
Yeah. But
Like,
inside,
I'm,
like in this, I hope this kind of conversation, like what you mentioned in the beginning, that you are not okay, and that is, I really appreciate your openness and honesty. Like that is such an like I would say rare thing. Like because there are so many people who are not like you said. It's always so much easier to say that I'm doing well, I'm okay, and when you don't really see inside of a person what is actually going on, it's there is so much happening, and we never know what is going on in other person's life. So you mentioned those comments about your weight at home. How did that affect you emotionally?
when they were happening, it was much easier as a kid to protect yourself and be the funny one. You be the funny
Mm,
one because I don't know if you have siblings or if you not, but
yeah,
I
you
have
have a
two
brother.
brothers.
Yeah.
So I have an older brother and a younger brother, and I'm the only female.
Hmm.
Uh, and I never knew the difference. And I think back, and it's not like I'm glad that happened because I would not be this person.
Yeah.
Out of all my family, I'm the strongest one in the sense that I left the country. Like I left
Yeah.
everything. I've been
Hmm.
overseas for 10 years.
Hmm.
My friends or my life, they like my and I realize now from my mother's perspective, she felt like she was abandoned because I chose my friends. And I was like,
Mm,
now I voice it out. I was like, you were so mean to me. Why would I
mm,
stay? And she's horrified.
yeah.
And before, I just kept quiet. They described me like I was a brick wall. They
Yeah.
would try to say things to penetrate the brick wall and to provoke me. That was the way that they spoke to me. They provoked me. There were so many times, like my dad used to describe me as a car because he was scientific.
Mm,
What it was always hypothetical. It was never a conversation.
yeah.
He would be like, imagine a car going up a hill, right? And he was like, imagine the car having very heavy things in the boot. And I was like, okay. And then he'd be like, imagine that car being like 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years. How would that car survive going up the hill? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Uh,
And it's like, well, obviously, like it is clearly a car maybe needs to go to a mechanic, you know.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
and obviously he hated it because
Yeah.
when I felt like he provoked me, I felt
Mm,
like they won. And that's where I think my strength comes from, is that I can hold for quite a while
yeah.
before I break.
Yeah.
And so uh I'm sorry, I can't remember the question right now. I feel like I've gone off on a
No,
tangent.
it was just that how did that affect you emotionally when somebody
Yeah,
was mentioning your weight?
yeah. So that's how it started. Is
Mm,
like I would have an armor, a brick
mm,
wall between them and me,
mm.
and I would try my
Not closing
hardest not
them.
to cry. Keep
Yeah.
them not
Just
even
close.
just closed.
Yeah.
just really, really closed, and I never let anyone in. So
Mm.
they never really knew me. Like my mum
Yeah.
didn't know me at
Yeah.
all for a long time. She didn't
Yeah.
know what I could do. Like in her eyes, I can't believe my daughter's a teacher.
Yeah.
Like how I used to be a teacher. How are you a teacher to kids?
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I kept them at a distance because it's much
Mm.
easier to control when you're far away.
Yeah. Yeah. So if your younger self, the girl who was hiding sweet wrappers, like you said, you were those kind of things. Could you see that person, that younger self, could see you now? What would you tell? What would you want to tell to her?
I tell her that it's okay. I talk to my younger self a lot actually because I
Mm.
think about like all the things that I can do even though I'm fat. It's
Mm.
okay. It's okay to be fat. It's okay. You can explore, you can do things, you can go see the world. You can be paranoid about things. But you need to tell people like how you're feeling. Like I'm not when things are going not okay, you're never going to be a burden. The way my parents described it was like, when you're 70, will your friends care about you as much as they care about you now? And I used to cry because I was like, I always worried that they wouldn't,
Yeah.
like they wouldn't be there until like I spoke to a friend. They would be like, when, and they would name my friends. They would like,
Mm.
when Pam has children, do you do you think that they will be there for you when you really need them? And I was like, because I cried instantly, and they knew that they had me, is because
Mm.
it put a question mark in there, and that
Mm.
was fatal because I felt like they had me, and I worried for a long time. I really worried they would not look after you. They are not
Mm.
your friends, and until like I spoke to my friends about it, I ended up like having a humongous like crying session. I was like, "Will you be there?" They're like, "Oh my God, of course! I want my kids to know you. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like, are you
Yeah.
crazy?" And I was like, "Oh
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah, okay." And so I
Yeah.
was like, yes, okay. So that's my little self. I'll be like, your friends will be there for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Don't think that you've left the country
Yeah.
and you're like having this joyous occasion, jumping around the world, as my father said, used to see. He used to call me a cork,
Oh,
or a cork flying between countries with no assets and no home. And I was like,
yeah.
shit. And then you'd be like, oh my God, I am. And that's not true. That's totally not true. Like he's talking from Egyptian father, Egyptian like life,
Mm.
and Japanese mother. And I was like, oh, you know, the way that their life has worked are very different. They
Mm.
produced a kid who's much stronger than they realize and is very capable.
Mhm.
And when dad was calm, he could say it. Like, oh, he used to say, it's like, it is not a holiday. When I was saying, oh, I'm thinking of moving to Doha. He was like, it's not a holiday. I was like, "Oh, I know that. Like, I
Yeah.
know that. It's then between like going somewhere and living somewhere is very different. And I was like, yes, I know that too.
Yeah.
And there's all these things that dad used to say. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, the other one was living overseas is not for the faint-hearted.
Oh,
And I was like, oh yeah, which is true. And I tell my
yeah.
little self, I was like, it's not for the faint-hearted. That's why we know we can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh, So I want to talk a little bit about your success or refining your success. How you are doing it. So today, what does being fit mean to you?
I think it's in my mind. I think my mind is very fit,
Yeah.
and the strength that you need to be fit. Because you can still be fit and not be strong in the mind.
Uh-huh.
And so I feel like my fitness is really my absolute strength that I have. And it comes out of like the most unusual moments where I
Mm.
don't think it's that little question of, I don't think I can do this. And then you're
Mm-hmm.
like, then the little turn of the flip switch goes. I was like, you have to do this because you need to do it because you don't have a choice
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yeah.
So that fitness of like the flick switch
Yeah.
is my strength. That's what I wear my
Wow.
badge on. I'm like, yes, I've got this. I've got this. My little self, you can totally do
Yeah.
this. And I'll give
Yeah.
you an example. Okay, is I haven't been to the gym. We have to be honest. I haven't been to the gym. I rarely walk. I go places, and then we have this grade 7 Chinthe expedition, which is like
Mm-hmm.
it's called a week without walls, where you go with your the grade level, and you go to another country, and you
Mm-hmm.
basically do like things like cooking, climbing, hiking, trekking, kayaking, all the fun things that you can't do whilst at school. But they learn all these like outdoor things like working together as a team, kayaking in pairs, trekking, and using a compass, like these life skills that are being taught within a week.
Yeah.
And it was a hard Christmas. I went home for Christmas. It was a hard Christmas, and then we have no break. So you come back like the night before school, and then because of this week without walls in Chiang Mai in Thailand, I arrive
Mm.
at like 10 o'clock in the morning here. I wash everything, and then I sleep half a night, and then the bus to take me to the school is at 3:05 a.m. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be
Yeah.
really rough. So I go and we're going through it, and you're on. Your brain is on
Mm-hmm.
for 24 hours of the day because you are their supervisor, you are their guardian, you have to look after them.
Yeah.
And that's where I say my cup is half empty. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. I didn't know. I thought it was okay until like certain days, like I had to go trekking in the jungle. I was like, I don't want to trek in the jungle.
Mm.
And like, who wants to trek by choice? But this is
Mm.
not the Camino where you can go take a little seat. You're guiding kids using a compass. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I can hardly walk. Like I luckily bought one of my walking sticks because I was thinking, right, I have no shame. I'm bringing it. And these kids who've like these kids these kids are like really ultra rich kids who only
Mm.
ever play video games.
Mm.
They do sports at school, and it was hard. And I told them from the beginning, the tour guide, is like, listen, I'm not that fit, and I have a sore knee, and I
Mm.
just like I would never ever have said that. And I said, I'm worried, and they were like, it's okay, it's only a little bit. I went, okay, thank God. It was
Mm.
not like that. It was like this. It was downhill, uphill. You're like grabbing onto like chunks of tree. Your fingernails are you're like stepping over like fallen bits of wood, like a tree here, some there, a bug, mosquitoes. And I was like,
Wow.
oh. And like, but because I told someone there was a guide behind me all the time, I wasn't really looking after the kids. There were the guide was, and we had another teacher there. The
Mm.
principal of the school was there, and
Mm.
myself, and then another guy behind me, and then they helped me get round. And I
Mm.
was like, I'll be honest, I did probably want to cry, but I was like, you need to suppress it right now because the kids can't see that you're scared because if,
Mm.
if if you see a teacher crying, it's quite bad. So I was like, okay. And every time I felt like, oh my God, this is so hard, I looked over and the principal of the school was like checking his emails whilst he's like hiking. I was like, oh, okay, you're just gonna have to carry on. And I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? You don't let them see that you're scared. You walk slowly as much as you can. You do it. You
Uh-huh.
do what you need to do to get through this. And that's where I thought that's my strength kicking in. It
Uh-huh.
is really hard. I found it a total challenge.
Yeah.
They were because they got us lost. I said, I don't need that. I said, go find the right way, use the compass. And they got us there. But there was some clambering and I didn't enjoy it. And that's
Mm.
okay to say that. I said, I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it. That was very hard and my knees seized up. And
Mm.
on top of that, I'm living in the same quarters of the students, but in the middle. So it's a flight up.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
like I felt like I was crippled. I was like, this is awful. This is a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can do this. You could that mindset. You can totally do this. Like I have a
Yeah.
little like sad cry. I'm like, I'm okay. I can do this. I can do this. It's
Yeah.
okay. Suppress it. keep continue,
And
and
keep
then
going.
and keep going. And that was it. And obviously, yeah, I did cry. And there was one day that I totally cried because it was so
Uh-huh.
much. And and I told a colleague that I was working with, I said, I'm feeling really sad today. And they're like, okay, it's okay. They're like, what are you looking forward to? I was like, cooking. I want to see this
Uh-huh.
kid cook. And he went, great. He went, this is perfect for you. This is perfect for you. And I was
Mm.
on my own. They were like, it will be okay. I've got a helper. What happens? Drama happens. A kid slices his finger. And
Oh,
oh my God. So when I go over there, I'm not in the right frame. And I run over there because we've got taught first aid. He's got it under the thing. And I see the skin like flap open and flap closed. And I'm like,
wow.
oh, I put my finger on it. I'm like, oh, I feel really sick. This is quite bad. And he went, no, Miss Sammy, it's fine. I went, no, it's not. We need to go to the hospital. And he was
Yeah.
so anyway, there's a mad rush. A message on the group that blah blah blah's cut himself. I need to go to the hospital. I need to go get his passport. And that adrenaline, like again, I'm running around looking for my passport. I go to I go to the principal's apartment. I have to open his suitcase. I have to go find the student boy's passport.
Uh,
All that kind of. I was like, and there's a point. Oh my God, I can't do this. Like there's another like voice of I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't cope. But then there's another voice like you have to do this. You can
yeah.
totally do this. You can totally
And,
do this.
and this is being fit.
It's yes, this is where I
That
think of
is,
fit. You need to
yeah.
be emotionally fit.
Yeah.
Doesn't sit anywhere. It's
Yeah.
not anywhere. And then
Yeah.
my final story of my where I feel emotionally fit
Hmm.
is when they all get reorganizing where the teachers go, and I've told clearly I've said I didn't like the trekking, I don't want to do it again, and
Hmm.
they were like, okay, you're gonna go kayaking with this group, and then you're gonna go kayaking again because they need a female teacher and a male teacher with the student groups. And I was like, okay, with grade 7 and grade 8, same day, but the intention is in the afternoon, the kayaking is, it's okay, Samia, there's a safety boat. I'm like, oh, thank God for that. It means I don't need to get into the water with them,
Uh-huh.
right? So I'm like, oh, like, thank you, thank you. I just don't want to do trekking.
Yeah.
Like that was the issue. I will do anything else, but I don't want to do trekking. Obviously, I don't want to go cooking food with them because they'll slice their finger off.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fitness, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you do it? I'm like, oh, wait, maybe with a second person,
Yeah.
because doubt is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Doubt when you're feeling like half like not yourself, half gone, half not enough sleep, adrenaline's taking over,
Hmm.
you've been on as a teacher like 24 hours. Doubt is so dangerous, and that's the one that you need to flip like an egg.
Hmm.
Like you flip it
Yeah.
over, but like, now you can do
That,
this.
no, you can do it.
You can totally do this.
Yeah.
I ended up kayaking in the morning with another teacher, but I had to do most of the kayaking because someone needs to take photos of the kids for the
Yeah.
parents to see. So I'm
Yeah.
kayaking. I'm like I'm at the back and I'm straightening up the boat. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm tired. My shoulders are burning. My hands are tired because it's a grip thing, right? You have to grip that paddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm doing it, and she's taking photos. Well, I don't want to take photos. That's I'm scared to drop my phone in the water
Mm.
because that is I don't want to do that. You do that. I'll paddle you through the kids and encourage these kids to come on.
Mm.
So I did that in the morning because in my brain there's a safety boat. I don't need to paddle in the afternoon. I just
Yeah.
need to be the guardian, the female guardian.
Yeah.
So grade 7, we do it. We get out. I'm very wet. I have like, my swimming costume, my leggings, everything. So I managed to like roughly change. I think I changed my trousers and changed like the t-shirt, but kept everything else and my underwear. So I was like, I felt like, yes, I'm in clean clothes. I'm dry. Yes.
Mm.
Okay. And then they dropped me off at a restaurant. I had some food. And then the next round was they picked me up, right? The
Mm.
first one was in a lake, right? Lake, hardly any movement. You'd have to pump out some exercise, get them going. Second one, there's a safety boat. That's how I took it. There's a safety boat. I don't need to do anything. I get there, it's a ravaging river. A
Wow.
river. a brown river, and the slope is like super steep, and the kayaks are at the bottom. And I'm like, I tell my friend Andy, I was like, where's the safety? Like, he was like, I can't, he's telling me I can't swim. And I went, oh my God, like I can swim. And I've just done kayaking in the morning with that, with like 2 hour gap. And I was
Mm,
like, he went, and then he says, someone needs to take photos of the kids. I was like, I'm not taking photos of the kids. I was like, I don't have anything to put my phone in. I've just got, I
mm,
carry my phone with wet hands. And he was like, okay, well, let's see. And so he's like, I'm not kayaking. Because I was like, I'm not kayaking. He's like, well, you have to stay with someone needs to go with the kids. And I was like,
mm.
oh God. And someone needs to go with a kid because there's odd numbers. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So and so in my head, I'm looking at this river is brown and super fast. And I went and I looked at it and I was thinking in my head, I don't have the strength to go walk, like kayak down and then kayak up,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we make these mini stories in
Yeah.
our head
Yeah.
that go against the strength of what's going on in your soul. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it. He's like, no, you can't. He never said you can. He was like, I don't have clothes on, and I've got a wet bag of,
Mm,
kayak shoe, like wet shoes and a t-shirt, like a rash vest, super soaking wet, leggings. And I was like, I don't have, how am I supposed to hide? There's nowhere to hide to change.
mm.
And so one of the Thai guys, the kayak guys comes over. He's like, right, which teacher's coming? Andy's like, I can't swim. So I was like, I just voiced it. I went, I don't have the strength. I went, I kayaked this morning. I am not strong enough to go down the river and back up again against the current. And he
Yeah.
went, no, no, we're not doing that. It's 7 kilometers down. You're not going.
Yeah. Wow.
The truck will go down there and pick you up. I went, oh. And I was like, oh, it's so good to say out loud what's happening.
Yeah.
That's so good to say that. Because the minute he did that, I was like, oh, I can do it. Because
Yeah.
it's fast current. I was like, and I'm okay kayaking, but
Yeah.
I was like, my hands are tired.
Yeah.
And it was, I need to get changed. I will go. And then we both decided to go. And I was
And
like, okay. So I had like normal like trousers on,
yeah.
cotton underwear because I got changed earlier. And then I put a really disgusting a wet rash vest back on. And I put my wet shoes on. And so there's a photo of me. And I put my hat and like my sunglasses on. I was like, there's a photo of us like, yeah. And that was my inner strength. And I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
that
did
that
the
is
7 kilometers.
that is and I think that strength you have got through fitness, keeping promises
Yes,
you make to yourself, and
yes.
this is what actually means being fit.
And there was points where I was like, I don't think my shoulders were on fire.
Yeah.
Like, because the initial thing was like, Andy would go with the kid because I didn't want to do that. So I went, and the minute I sat down, I was like, oh my God, my bum is wet. But it's fine.
Mm.
It's like the adventure of it. And I
Yeah.
told them I am like, I just told them, I was like, I've done kayaking this morning. I think
Mhm.
I'm quite tired. And and he went, don't worry, it's okay. If you're struggling, we'll come and get you. And I went, okay, okay.
Mhm.
And then he never needed to because I did okay. I made it. And
Mm.
he passed me like 3 times and he was like, you're good. He went, you're good. You can straighten up. Because
Yeah.
normally the kids normally just sort of, they don't know how to turn. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah. I did dragon boat racing in Doha for 4 years. Like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, and I did that. And I'm quite good at straightening up.
Yeah.
And then I was looking on the current to see where the current was, so I didn't have to paddle too much.
Yeah.
But I was so impressed. I was so
Wow.
impressed. And that
Wow.
was recently
Yeah. Yeah.
in January.
Yeah. Wow. What is if you think now that this is obviously a huge win and a boost of confidence, but what is like a kind of non-scale victories that matter the most for you right now?
Ooh, interesting. So non-scale victory is I think the mind is so precious. The
Mm,
strength comes from your inner spirit of who you are. And that the most precious thing is how you speak to yourself.
Wow. Yeah.
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 I
So
I'm
yeah.
still, I feel like I look the same. I look through all my photos, that how when I took the photo of myself side on and with the same shorts and t-shirt, I was like, oh, I probably look like that still, but I don't have sadness now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there was a like I remember vividly when you took like it took a while. You took pictures from yourself with clothes on, and then you like when we did that kind of comparison picture, even
Yeah.
with the same clothes, and you
Yeah.
were like that you look still the same. There's nothing happened, and but then obviously when you have two pictures and you see that oh
Yeah.
I don't look the same person anymore. And it was like that in that moment because it's always it's I bet it was very difficult like because I if I understood correctly you didn't enjoy taking pictures of yourself or seeing
Oh,
yourself
oh,
and then but when you did it uh, I haven't had anyone who then after regret taking those pictures in the beginning and then
yeah.
looking back because when you think that oh nothing have changed and then when you see a comparison picture next to that and say that wow I actually there is something what have changed and not only a little bit it's a huge change actually.
Huge. And even now, I'm like, oh, maybe I should do another photo. I try those shorts on every now and again. I'm like, oh yeah, they're a little bit tight, but that's okay. Like,
Yeah,
oh, that t-shirt. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I love yellow. And it is the past. It helps us.
yeah,
The past is not gone. It's just that it helps us mm, become a little bit more like us,
yeah, yeah.
who we're meant to
How
be.
what is like if you if the scale would disappear forever, how would you measure your progress now?
Oh, that's a very clever one. My progress, I think, would be that I do definitely think that inner strength is so important. I think back to old me. Would I have been able to kayak twice in a day?
Yeah.
Would I
Wow.
have been? I think I would have cried. I think I would have not gone. Like, but you can't have that in your soul of like, no, I'm not doing it. And that's why I think I was so stubborn before.
Yeah.
But now I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. And I think I don't know if you have ever thought about it, how I see it, knowing you for so long. Like it's those goals, what you set, like having going for that Camino, doing hike. And when I remember vividly when you told that, you know, this is what you're gonna do, and now you need a help to create a plan for it. And then, you know, it's okay, let's do it. We build your workout program in mind of that goal what you had and then you know when you have something to work toward you are excited what is waiting for you you know that it's going to be a challenge and now you have an action plan how to actually get there how to be able to do that thing and then of course then on kind of like a side effects of doing following through what you promised to yourself then there is starting to happen like things like what you like because it would be a weird goal, at least for me, to set a goal like that. You know, I want to lift my luggage to in a plane without help, opening a solar bottle, like those kind of things. They are kind of then side effects of doing following the process. Even that goal was not related with any of those things, but then. So many good things start to happen and this is I hope you are very very proud of yourself what you have been achieving.
Yeah, I think as I get going, I'm like, yes, I felt so proud. And those little moments of the kayaking, who kayaks twice a day?
Yeah,
Like, who's on the Camino with a parasite? Who
yeah,
continues knowing that they're on some heavy drugs and continues? I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. I'm all right. I'm doing all
yeah,
right. And then
yeah,
yes, with grief and everything, and I think it's like just voicing it. Once I
yeah,
voice the crazy noise in my head, I'm much better.
yeah,
And the I still think like even when I had a blister on my hand and they're like and it's such an unusual point on my hand and they were like what is that from and I went oh
Mm.
it's from holding the bar because I did kayaking and they were like oh I've done kayaking I was like yeah but you didn't do it in the morning on a lake and they were like oh and
Yeah.
so I think I've learned to I think it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like standing up for myself.
Yeah.
It's the after effects of being aware, like the gym, going to
Mm.
try new things. A few days ago, I went to yoga.
Mm.
That's hard. I almost started crying when I entered because it was just like a point to be calm, and then that all disappeared because it was quite hard.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
did, and I was like, I would it was so hard. Like there were points where I was like, grab your leg and you're like tummy down. I was like, I don't think I can do that. And someone helped me, and I was like, I still can't reach. Like, but rather than being difficult, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. And like,
Yeah.
go from cobra to standing to this to that. I was like, oh God, right, okay. And I was like, don't be embarrassed that you can't get off the ground without using your hands. Don't be embarrassed. There are people that can't get off the ground full stop
Yeah. Yeah.
or go from yeah.
Oh, and this is all because you have changed your identity.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
is there like if you had to finish the sentence like that, I'm someone who what would you say now?
Ooh, okay. I'm someone who will try. That's it.
Wow.
I will try. I will have a go.
Yeah. That's
Even
so
if I think,
powerful.
"Oh God, I don't want to do that. And like,
Yeah.
and there might be a lot of negative chit chat, but it won't last for weeks. It won't be
Yeah.
like weeks and weeks of negative chat. At the moment, I'm like, oh, we have to climb the stairs. We've got 300 people coming. That lift will be like completely like full. I'm like, oh God, okay, let's try. Let's just have a go.
Yeah. And what is there like something, what do you believe about yourself today that you didn't believe a year ago?
Oh, a year ago and today, I think um I do have the strength. I might not look it, but I have strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That
last
is,
year, I think I would have been like, you should look like you're strong. You should look like you should look when you like flex your arm, you should have muscle there, you
uh-huh.
know. And I tried to show my mum. I was like, Mum, feel this. And my mum was like, oh, it's still like it's very soft. And I was like, no, it's not. No,
Yeah.
it's not. Like, but I was
I'm
like,
strong.
I am strong. And then you end up
Yeah.
being like, Mama, I am strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that is great, and it's funny how those things are changing over time. So
Yeah.
if someone listening feels stuck, ashamed, or tired of starting again, what would you tell them?
Every day is a new day, so you can
Oh,
try.
yeah, that is so powerful. So what do people misunderstand about weight loss and mental health in your opinion?
I think I think it's a triangle: mental health, exercise, and there's one more. I can never put my finger on it. I think it's mental health and inner strength, like a triangle.
Yeah,
You need all three. Eating healthy,
yeah,
eating, mental health, exercise.
yeah,
You need all three.
yeah.
And it got told to me by this Indian yoga guy in Hong Kong when I went to a random class. And he said you can never have a calm mental mind until you acknowledge exercise, eating, and mental health. And I remember thinking, you don't know me.
Hmm.
Like, but it's someone who's clearly gone through it. And I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, that triangle is important.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like as a coaching perspective, like as a coach is like was someone who like I always like to connect with people. We are all different, and what what would you what would you want to tell coaches or trainers to understand better about people like you? Because it's many coaches think that, you know, if they are, especially if they are themselves uh, bodybuilders or, you know, posting without shirt pictures in social media, and then there is like people like you. What you would want these coaches to understand better?
Oh dear, that's so interesting. I think this is the first time that I ever got heard about what's happening in my brain. It's
Mm,
not just exercise, isn't just surface level exercise. Yes, you could just go for a walk. Yes. And different people have always told me that, oh, I'm feeling a bit unfit. And they were like, oh, you should climb the stairs 10 times. I'm like, oh, you're crazy. But you can't say that. You're like, okay, yeah, that's such a good idea.
yeah,
But really, it's like what's happening in your soul, your mind and your soul is off kilter, and we can't tell. But for another coach to say, like, actually, it's okay. Let's just take it by step. Let's see
yeah.
how are you feeling really. Tell me what did you eat today,
Hmm.
and then how do you feel after?
Yeah.
It's
And I
almost like
think that is,
coach therapy.
yeah.
Like
No, it
that's how
it is like you say that it's not only like it would be like in my opinion, like I think coaches shouldn't tell, like if coach is there just to, like, obviously, like you have been very honest, which is not, it's very rare. Like most people are not honest with their struggles, and then when you connect with someone who actually can support you at the point where you are right now, because it's easy to say that, yeah, like you said, that yeah, eat less, move more, giving
yeah,
that kind of advice, because that is not, like you said, that it's not helping. That's
yeah,
the probably, like, I think it's probably the worst advice you can give to someone.
yeah,
Like it in even it's kind of true, but it's still as an advice, like like you know, you have heard it like thousands of times.
yeah. And even like my mum now is like, oh, okay. Like she's beginning to become aware. It's like eat less, move more doesn't really matter. It's not that
Uh-huh.
you have to have some mental strength. And like because mum is going through some grief as well. And mental health is I do push for mental health with my mother.
Mm.
And it's like, mum, you can't always be strong, and that's okay. Like it's
Yeah,
okay. Like
yeah.
much more gentle with myself now.
Wow.
Eat less, move more. I was like, what does that even mean? I was like, it's a great mantra for other people.
Mm.
And so then you instantly become like that's how you compare. I don't
Yeah,
want to compare. You don't know
yeah.
what's happening with that other
No,
person.
no,
You don't
no.
know what's
You
happening.
can't. No.
They might look like the person that you think you should become. And then
Yeah,
when you scratch the surface, they're mentally unstable
yeah,
and or not very kind. I was like, no, I still want to be. I'm fine with being like how I am. I want to be fat and strong.
yeah.
That's
That
how.
that is,
I, was-
and to say it loud, that is a
and
huge.
I tell my mom, and she's like, "But you could be such a beauty. That's this other like it's a
Yeah,
weapon,
but
right?
it's yeah. That
The
is
weapon.
it's a
It's Japanese
different.
mother.
Yeah. So when you think ahead, like next 6, 12 months, what do you hope for? Not just physically, but in life.
Oh, so 6 to 12 months. What are we
From
now? January. Okay, so I think with grief being like the undercurrent of what's happening right now, I think I
Mhm.
need to be at peace. And I made the decision to stay here and not uproot my life and quit my job and sell everything and move back home and live off my savings. I think right now is just not settle, just to be still and like listen to the feelings that are carousing through my veins.
Mm.
And with fitness, it is about trying and I hate to say this, trying and failing and trying again
Mm.
to see what
Yeah,
I can do.
yeah,
Right? I'm going to stay here at this school for another year. I've decided. And like I thought the person that I was shouting at children in their face. Like I did not recognize who I was in
uh,
the most of the points, and I felt embarrassed. I
yeah,
felt like the person who had that I was at that chinthe was not who I really am, and I felt like I should quit because
yeah,
grief was suffocating me and I couldn't cope.
yeah.
But instead, and I did, I had a chat with my director, I had a chat with my boss, and and I could like it was on the cards. Like I was on a knife edge of which way to go. And I was like, yes, I could easily, yes, sell everything, everything I
Mm,
own. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That is not me. You're freaking out.
mm,
You're freaking out. So now, like, my goal this year is to try and be calm, sit in the like, uncomfortableness of what's
hmm,
going on, and try, fail, try, have a go at stuff. I
hmm.
tried yoga last week. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you
It was
tried it.
all in Burmese.
Yeah. No, but
Oh,
that is
it's so
such a
hard,
huge like
you know. And
trying.
I went with two friends because we talk about
Yeah,
it. We like, I need to have something. I can't do
yeah,
nothing after
yeah,
school. I need something. And I was like, if this doesn't work, then yeah, I need to go to the gym.
yeah.
Um, and then tomorrow I'm gonna try Pilates for the first time
Oh,
in my life,
nice. Awesome.
and we've
Awesome.
booked it for 9:30. One loves walking. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk there. And she was like, a brisk pace, you can make it in an hour. And a
Uh.
brisk, oh no, I'm getting a taxi. Like I've, I've already decided. I don't know about the other one, but I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll get a taxi at 9. I'm gonna
yeah,
try it. And it feels nice. Like the trio, the three of us, like one goes to the gym regularly, the other's a guy. He has arthritis in his fingers, has that Viking thing with his
yeah.
hand, and so he can't lift, which I was
Hmm.
like, that's so interesting.
Mm.
And then I was like, and then there's me. I was like, but there's no comparison. We're all deeply unique and deeply different, but
Yeah,
connected.
there's connected. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just have a go. Let's have a go at
Awesome.
this.
What is then like is this what you are proud of yourself for? Like even if nobody else sees it.
Oh dear, that's so interesting because grief hides a lot of what you're proud of
Mm,
because it brings all of the awkwardness to the surface. So you know what I'm proud of? I'm proud of that I can say what's wrong. Like
yeah,
I really try to be honest about who I am and what is happening and try not to like succumb to the brain side of that negative chit chat. I don't want to. I don't want to be there anymore. Like I'm fine to sit in my awkwardness of my grief. But I'm really proud of is that I still have it. I still have that
yeah,
strength. I still have it. The
yeah,
kayak thing only happened in like whatever January the something 12th
yeah.
that week. And I did cry. I spent a day crying, like hiding in the morning. I told a colleague straight away I would never have done that. I would never
Oh,
have done that. And I would never have put my cards down and said, look, I'm really struggling right now. And the principal, the one that was there, he was checking his emails while I was like clambering through forest and having like holding on to like one skinny little Thai man as I was like going downhill.
yeah.
And all I could think of is like, do not roll your ankle because you will struggle. It will be much harder to get out. You have all my toes were on grip strength. I was like,
Mm,
I was like, you can totally do this. You can suppress those tears. You can cry later. This is not the time, you know.
wow.
And I was like, oh, I got it. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
myself. I did it.
Wow. Wow.
And obviously I can't tell children. I was like, I'm dealing with a father passing, and
Yeah.
you know,
And
and there were times I did lose my temper, but with 24/7, I was like, I can't deal with girl drama. Like there's
mm,
drama, girl drama, kids are really hardcore crying, you know,
wow.
and we had grade 7, so it's that age of puberty, the
Mm,
puberty age. The younger ones, the grade 6 teachers were saying about like the silly things were happening. And I was like, tell me, because I need some silly things. What are you dealing with? And then they tell me. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm fine. We're fine. We're
yeah.
okay. We're okay.
Samia, thank you. That
So that's my
I planned to record an hour episode with you. We have been talking over 2 hours. Thank you so much for your
very
honesty
well.
today. What you
Thank
shared is not easy, and I know that many people listening will recognize themselves in your words, even if they never said them out loud.
Yeah.
And your story is a reminder that progress is not always visible on the scale. Sometimes it's invisible. It's choosing to walk, choosing to rest, choosing not to binge, choosing to be kinder to yourself. And I want to say this openly. Working with you has changed the way I see coaching because you have showed me that strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, it's emotional, and deeply human. Thank you for trusting me and for sharing your journey here. And to everyone listening, if you feel like Samia sometimes like tired, unsure, but still trying, please remember this, that trying is already a form of strength. So Samia, is there one last thing you would like to say to someone who feels like they are at the beginning again?
Change can come at any stage
That
of life
is
or whatever, however you
so
feel,
well.
but change can happen.
That is so well said. Thank you again for being here. And if you have anything like you want to share, I don't know if you want to share your social media, anything, if someone is listening, feel free to do it. And if not, it's all good.
Thank you so much for this. I really needed
Thank you.
it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Shami.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me to a Fitness podcast.